So what happened is that actually according to law, the elder son will inherit the kingdom. He should be the ruler. But a person who is handicapped, like a blind, like that, is not, according to law, he is not fit to be the ruler. So, according to that, Dhritarashtra, even though he is an elder son, but he is not entitled to be the ruler of the kingdom. So, naturally, Pandu was made the ruler. Because all this was, Bhishma was the protector. As I told you, Bhishma was protecting the whole of the kingdom because he is the elderly person. Actually, Bhishma could rule the whole kingdom, but he didn't want to break the promise which he made to his father. So that is why he was the protector and he was advisor and protector. So according to the law, he made Pandu Raja as the king. But this Pandu Raja, he was very peace-loving person and very well-behaved, very peace-loving, very devoted, all good qualities he had. So he had a great love and also great reverence to his elder brother. So he said, okay, I accept that I will rule the whole kingdom, but I let my elder brother to be on the throne, and on his behalf I will take care of the whole kingdom. That is what he said. He was not greedy. Actually he was made the ruler, the king for the whole of greater India, Bharat. But he said, I accept this responsibility as the ruler, but since my elder brother, I love him very much, I have good reverence, so let him be on the throne. Because he is blind, he cannot go out to take care of all the kingdom, to take care of people. So let him be on the throne. But I will rule under him, I will consider him as the king, and on his behalf I will take care of the whole kingdom. Then Bhishma accepted. Because Bhishma knows that he is a very virtuous fellow. Pandu was a very virtuous person. So therefore, Bhishma accepted his proposal. So Pandu made his Dhritarashtra once again to be on the throne. And he was always going around and for the people, how the people are and what the people need, what are their problems. So he was like that, his nature was like that, always to go into the people, to solve their problems, to see what are the needs of the people, and wherever there is something disturbing, so he used to protect them. So that was his nature. And also he protected the forests, the ashrams, the spiritual centers. So that was his type of. That is why Lord Krishna also he has taken the responsibility of protecting his sons, because all his sons, they have inherited this type of qualities from their father. That is the reason. These are all, these 100 fellows, they have inherited the wicked behavior from their father.
Is this a symbolic number? Or?
100?
Yeah.
No, there were 100 children.
Oh.
Yeah. You know how it happened, That I will tell you. Because this is also important to know how is phenomenon. There was a a sub-kingdom in the northwest frontiers of Bharat. There is a sub-kingdom which is the present Afghanistan. It was a part of Bharat, Mahabharat. And there was a sub-rulers. And at that time, the capital was Kandahar. That is what is called. That time it is called Gandhar. Now it is called Kandahar. Kandahar, you know, in Afghanistan. Now the Taliban's center, Kandahar. So this Kandahar was the capital of Gandhar, of the Afghanistan kingdom. Afghanistan.
Haiti, no.
So that was a part of a sub-kingdom of India, of Bharat. So the daughter of the ruler of this Afghanistan was married to this blind fellow, this king. And her name was Gandhari. The kingdom is called the kingdom itself is called Gandhara, and she is called Gandhari. So she was married to this Dhritarashtra. And then another lady from another royal family, she was married to Panduraja. Two ladies from the royal family, another two ladies from the royal family, another royal clan, they were married to Panduraja. One is called Kunti. One lady is called Kunti and another lady is called Madri. They were the wives of Panduraja. So the first three of these five are born to Kunti and last two are twins. They are born to Madri. The first three sons were born to Kunti and the last two who are twins were born to Madri.
This is the story of the Mahabharata.
Yes. And you know, here what is the implication is, because according to the law, the firstborn should be the ruler. So according to that only, actually, Dhritarashtra should be the king, but because he was blind, Pandu was made the king. Now, Pandu was generous and he was good-natured, so he made his brother to sit on the throne and he was ruling on his behalf. But this fellow is a wicked fellow. So, he was thinking that if I get a son before my brother, then I can claim that my son should be the successor for the throne. That was his plan. Because then he can argue for that, and he knows that Pandu will accept, because he is not bothered about the throne. He is bothered about only to fulfill the responsibilities for the people. So he knows that. So he is such a wicked fellow. Then what happened? Kunti first got pregnant of the first one, Yudhishthira. Kunti got pregnant. And so this, they knew this Gandhari and Dhritarashtra, they were very sad about this. They wanted to have the first child, but Kunti got the first pregnancy. So now they said that our hopes are gone, because when Kunti gets the first son, then the whole kingdom will go to the son of Kunti, because it's natural. He is the ruler actually, so automatically it should go to him. So after Kunti, after some months, then she got pregnant. But then naturally Kunti's son Yudhishthira was born. And still she was pregnant, so she was very angry about this, and she was striking on her this belly, and that was broken into 100 pieces. The fetus. The fetus. The fetus. The fetus was broken into 100 pieces, and that was a miscarriage. All the 100 pieces came out, and then Vedavyasa, he interfered because there is a divine plan. So what he did is he protected all these 100 pieces. He made them to protect by certain method, and then he made his power that the 100 pieces should not die and they will develop, and that is how they developed into 100 sons. This is what happened.
Yeah, it was really like cloning.
Yeah, like that. That is how it happened. That is how he had 100 sons.
So, and why did the Vedavyasa do that?
Because that is the divine plan. Because they know what is going to happen.
Because this is
Because
all
there are much evils spread by the black forces. They want to all this precipitate at one place. All this to come and precipitate at one place. Then, because that is the plan of the Lord, why he is coming down is to dispel all the black forces' influence and again protect the law, because it goes to lawlessness. So there are many fellows who are influenced by this. So it is important that these fellows will develop, because anyway they are from the wicked type of thinking, and all these fellows will join together finally. Then at once they are destroyed. That is the divine plan.
To incarnate the devil forces.
Yes,
Yeah.
to precipitate them into form, and then
They
So-
were angry after the mother.
yes. So that is how you find all this happened. So now in the third chapter, in the fourth chapter, it is this between the blind king. It is a dialogue between the blind king and Bhishma, the protector of the So it is a dialogue between these two. And this dialogue is about the plans. Because this blind king, he says that he calls him father because he is a protector. So he says, Father, I made new plans which were hitherto were not made by our ancestors. I am an innovative fellow. I made a new plans how to rule the people. So he presented his plans to his Bhishma. That is the fourth chapter.
Force.
Yes. So that is a. Oh, sorry, that is the third chapter, not fourth.
Third.
Third chapter, yes. Yes, third chapter. Because second chapter is about the Ayurvedic and Maitreya, this is the third chapter. So it is in the palace. This dialogue is in the palace, the royal palace of Hastina, where this blind king and Bhishma, they were talking together. So he starts his dialogue, this blind fellow, And he says, I made a plan to improve, to increase the wealth in our treasury. Because for the kingdom there is treasury. So he says, I made a plan to increase the wealth in our treasury, but you may not be liking this so much, but I want to explain you, to convince you that we can implement these plans. That is how he starts his dialogue.
He wants to print money.
Yes. And then Bhishma says, I know your mind, because from your childhood I have taken responsibility of bringing you up. You are like my son. I know your mind, how you think and how you behave with others. But okay, present it, and I will then give my decision to implement it or not. So I know that your life is you think that your life is, you are leading your life, you are responsible, but I know that it is going according to the plan of the Lord, who is coming into incarnation. So he is according to his plan. He says, it is not your plan or my plan, but his plan will be implemented. But this fellow has, this blind king has no much belief in Lord consciousness and divinity and all these things. He thinks that himself is a lawmaker and all these things. He is an aristocratic fellow. He has a lot of Sora.
Before time.
Oh yes.
I thought he had a quite big time.
Was this Dharma?
So he says that
Thank you very much.
he says that these plans were never made before the rulers before me, either you or your father or your grandfather. I have made this. So then Bhishma asks, okay, you can present, you can explain me what are your plans. Then he says that first I will call the top business people of this city. I will assemble them. I will call them for a meeting. I have already done some work in this direction. So I have sent my tax officers to these fellows, and I have put heavy taxes to these fellows, to the top businessmen. And because they were paying taxes, but now I have put heavy taxes, and I have sent my tax officers to them to collect these taxes. Then these fellows came to me. So these fellows came to me to have a compromise. I know this, they will come to me for compromise. That is why I have put these taxes to them. So they have come for compromise. So now the compromise is, they have to deposit 50% of their wealth, surrender to me, and for this, as a compensation, I have promised them that I will provide places for their new factories. They can build, I have granted permission for them to build new factories, and they can gain their money what they have deposited to me. And so for these new factories, I made my officers to go into the villages, and the people in the village, they have large fields. They are owners of fields. So I made them to surrender some of the fields to the government. And these fields I allotted to these fellows to build their factories. And by doing this, I have gained some other thing is, the common people, I have developed hatred in their mind towards these business fellows. And they became loyal to me because I have given a compensation, because I have received the wealth, the gold and the wealth, what I have received from these fellows. Some part of this I have given compensation to these fellows who have surrendered their lands. So they think that I have given my money to them. So therefore they are loyal to me now.
So corruption started.
Yes, corruption started. That is how. And so this I made because in the coming years the whole trade will be under the government control. And then Bhishma laughs and says, in few years means when your son, your elder son should be the ruler. And by that time you want that all the trade should be under his control. That is your plan. This is your wicked plan, he says. Then he says, of course, my brother has got his first son who is elder to my sons. Who knows who will be the ruler?
So speculation starts.
Yeah. And says,
How many
Ka-
years ago?
he says 5,300 years, 5,400
Not so
years.
far.
Income without labor.
Yes. And then he says, of course, all this I am doing for the welfare of kingdom.
No.
Then Bhishma says, somebody who wants the welfare of kingdom will not deceive the people like you, what you did. You have deceived people. Yeah? You have, people were living calmly, very peacefully before, all of them mutually. Now you have divided them. You have created hatred in their minds. You have deceived the people. So a person who really wants the welfare of the kingdom will not deceive the people. And then says, yes, further, what are the plans, you tell me. Then he says that these fellows who are cultivating their fields and who are having the cattle, all these previous times, they were enjoying all that work, they are cultivating, they are having the cattle, they are enjoying. Therefore, they don't care the rulers. So, I want now that they should be in a position that they should rule, they should be ruled by us, they should care us. Therefore, I have a new plan, he says. Because they are enjoying,
Free.
they are enjoying this as a free. He thinks that because those people are working in the fields always. And all the rulers before him, they have given priority to the people who are working in the fields. And they never put heavy taxation to the farmers. They said farmers should be encouraged because they are
Farmer.
not farmers.
Now it's farmer.
Now it's farmer. Yes.
Another point of view.
Yeah. But the farmers, all the previous rulers, they let the farmers work and enjoy because they are working in the fields, they are growing the food and they are not blocking the food, they are distributing the food for the whole country. So it is due to their work the whole country could have sufficient food. That is why no rulers before him wanted to put tax to the...
What was the use of the rulers? About the work of the rulers? A good ruler, I mean.
A good rulers means they always to keep balance in the society to and
Supervise.
to supervise and also to protect from to evil forces from outside. Coordination and to keep culture and the spiritual things That is the work of the rulers. The art, culture, spiritual, and all these things. To patronize them.
In
This
That's
is
the
also
education.
given by master in the
And
small
also
booklet.
education. There is free
the
education.
freedom of the people.
Freedom of the
The
people.
opposite from today.
Yeah, completely opposite from today. Because the education was also absolutely free. Because all the ashrams were the schools. And the ashrams were patronized by the government. So the government will never interfere
Yeah.
with them. But they will provide everything
Yeah.
for them. And all the children have free education.
And this was absolute positive communism.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the people will contribute
Yeah,
little thing
that's
to the
right.
government.
All, yes.
Very little to the government, and that is sufficient. to
All are
provide.
equal. Boys, girls, children of royal families, children of other families, when they are sent there, they are all equal. The children will never allowed to know that we are from royal family or we are from this.
So this is the ideal communism.
Yes. Until the completion of their education, they are not expected to know their riches and their positions and all these things. All are equal. They have to work. And also, during the education, it is not only just in the classroom and to read. They have to work physically. They have to learn every physical work. Working in the field, working with the cattle, and working in the healing. So all of them are given practical education.
They were all equal.
All equal. No discrimination. That was the society at that time. But
Because it was not a political party like today.
yeah.
Communism is a political party.
Yes.
Speculation. It is not legal.
Dwapara Yuga. So he says that these fellows, these farmers, they are enjoying without caring the rulers. So now I made a plan for these fellows also. So therefore I sent my officers to the villages, to the farmers, to collect taxes from these fellows. Because they are growing and they are enjoying, they
They are becoming rich.
are becoming rich, but it is not true. They are maintaining all equal. But in his view, they are becoming rich. Those they should not be rich than us. We are the rulers. So I sent my officers to collect taxes from them also. And in every village, I have appointed my officers to estimate how much they have
Control.
control.
Total control.
So then Krishna says, oh, you are using your wicked intelligence because hitherto there were no crimes. Now you have initiated crimes, criminal nature in the people. Because once you have created differences in people, so now there will be criminal attitude starts in the people. So you are making the starting point of the criminal behavior and criminal nature in people. Then Dhritarashtra says, no, you are not properly understanding me.
This is all welfare to our kingdom.
It is all for the welfare of the people, he says.
This is a liar like Netanyahu.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's a super liar today.
He says that we need buildings. So from where we can make the buildings? So that is why I am collecting all these taxes to make buildings. Then Bhishma says, why should you have buildings? What is important is the work, and people are living since centuries like that. Why should you have buildings? So now with the policy what you are now going to make, with this what happens is there will be a special branch for buildings, making roads and buildings, and this branch will have corrupted fellows. They will make such plans, and they want funds, and out of the funds they will eat some funds,